Hey guys, G here at the House of Black Brand Society. Today is a beautiful day out, so I decided to air out the blade and also oil it up later. And this will also give me a good excuse and chance to show off one of my favorite blades in the armory. Say hello to Jee Innovations Kampilan. So a little bit of history about this is around last year I acquired this and truth be told is I pretty much got conned. So the gentleman who I acquired this from told me an elaborate story how this is a very old Kampilan and everything's intact, perfect condition. Well, in reality it was covered in rust and the blade was not even very well secured onto the handle. It literally fell apart, including the guard. So I went to work. I mean, it was something that I acquired, and the main reason why I acquired it was because I was trying to gain more insight to better my understanding of my techniques to be applied for Essential Kalis Illustrissimo, and also blade that I was going to designate specifically for my use with Floro fighting systems, those manos. So when I decided to restore this, I posted the pictures on everything falling apart and everything rusted. After removing the rust by usual means of vinegar and sanding and yada and so on, please excuse the background noise. It's a beautiful day out, so the neighbors are also doing their lawn work, so thank you for your understanding. And Ray suggested when I posted the pictures that I contact Mang Rami to gain some insight onto how this construction is. So many people helped. Mang Rami, maraming salamat po sir for all your help and insight on this particular matter subject. It is thanks to you, Jude, and Ray that I actually managed to restore this to the way it is today. So thank you, gentlemen. Everybody gave me a really good, helpful advice on how to approach this, since as those of you who know me, my forte when it comes to restoration is that of nyontos and not something like classical Filipino swords. But this was a great project and it turned out fantastic, and I'll explain to you as we go along. The sheath here is actually relatively newly made. It was by a gentleman who actually is a Filipino wood craftsman living in the Pacific Northwest, and he did a fantastic job on this because classically the traditional Kampilan sheaths are nothing more than two woods that's held together by cords that breaks free when you either smash it on somebody's head or you cut the rope by hitting some sort of a wall or tree or whatever's just nearby to the ground to actually break through the scabbard and use the sword. So that's how it was usually held for a blade of this magnitude. The previous owner told me there's a lot of things that he did con, but what ended up happening was I did my research and also went to the experts to actually try to gain some more fact on this sword. This sword is probably most likely something that was acquired through a GI from 1960s in Mindanao. That is correct. Main reason why we were able to find out it was actually something from Mindanao was through the carving. The intricate carving is just well done. Too well done to be just like typical tourist blades. The steel, I actually had to have it examined by a real professional who knows more about this subject than I do. And he tells me that is most likely from truck suspension springs, which is common material used in Philippines to craft blades. So that's probably it. But on that note, it's pretty well done and well actually heat treated, because I did go through I did do a tamashikiri with Gozai and it just went through, I guess, with nothing. So that was pretty cool. So the guard is beautiful on that. Just beautiful, intricate carvings. Now on the handle, the cord wrap is Mod 1 Jee Innovations cord wrap in hemp cord. Main reason why I do this is so I got a reference point so I know which way the blade is oriented. Main reason why this is a necessity with this blade is, one, if you look at the blade, holding it straight, pointing the blade, But as you can't see, well, from not that side, so I'll turn the other side. As you can't see what I'm holding is straight. You see how it's leaning towards one particular side? This is, I'm not sure if it was warping or it was purpose intended for this particular handle orientation, but I got used to it, so for me it was actually okay. For those who practice Essential Kalis Illustrissimo, highly recommend it. For those of you who do not know what it is, Ray's got a wonderful course on this on his FFS online. Think it as this, anytime when someone asks me what is Essential Kalis Illustrissimo, it is the fighting essence of Kalis Illustrissimo, the fighting art of Grandmaster Antonio Tadang Illustrissimo, a legend. Also, Mang Rami's got a book coming out very soon on Kalis Illustrissimo and Grandmaster Antonio Tadang Illustrissimo. So I highly recommend that you check that out when it's out. I think you'll be able to find that. Simply type Mang Rami on Facebook, or look, I'll post my stuff. I'll post the information on my Facebook so you guys can find them. And a lot of people don't know this, but Mang Rami is the archivist of Kalis Illustrissimo. What that means is he's the best way that I could explain it is he's the caretaker of the knowledge of Kalis Illustrissimo as it was taught to him by Grandmaster Antonio Tadang Illustrissimo. So that's a huge responsibility, if you ask me, and a duty. And Mang Rami leads the charge extremely well. So also, Mang Rami also has a seminar courses on Race FFS online for those of you who are interested in seeing authentic Kalis Illustrissimo taught and practiced. So check that out too. Going into this again. So the blade, I'm gonna actually get the blade out. So for me, main reason why I got this was I wanted a blade that's designated for those manos used for FFS, and also a blade that I could use for Essential Kalis Illustrissimo practice. And this thing just fit the bill perfectly after it was completely and restored. So let's take a look at the babe, shall we? Oh yeah. So the single edge, what in Western culture what we would call Warncliffe blade, is just perfectly and phenomenally done. I'm gonna grab my scarf here so I don't actually mar the blade finish. As you know, I come from a Koryu background, so whenever we handle a blade, we believe that if you touch your bare hand, you're really disrespecting the blade. So there's a reason why for the cloth. Okay, good. Now if you're wondering, nice edging, right? Well, that edging, my friend, is the work of my good friend and master edger, Daniel Malley of Epicurean Edges. In Japan, we call this type of edging hamagoriba, which is clamshell edging, leaving more meat on the blade, so it resists rolling and chipping and lessens the chances of damage on the blade, the edge. And sorry that my camera focus sucks, but there you go. Absolutely a beautiful blade. If you know the history of Filipino culture and Filipino weapons, Kampilan is believed to be the blade that befell Magellan at the Battle of Mactan by Datu Lapu-Lapu. And it's also the longest blade in Filipino weapons. And also it is the only blade that was purpose intended for warfare than regular blades in Filipino culture that was typically agricultural tools that's fashioned towards warfare. This is the other way around. Actually, there really isn't that many documental reference to Kampilans ever being used as an agricultural tools. However, it actually is used for capital punishment, for decapitation for any criminals. So that's a scary thought on that. Oh my God, I love this thing. So because I'm in the garage, with the garage door rolled up, I really can't do much movement on this, but guys, oh my god. Love it, absolutely. Love this thing. God. Now for those of you who are wondering, gee, you said you're a cordial guy, right? So why are you holding that in a wrong way? Ironically, I'm not. This is actually the way you want to be holding it when you're using FFS, those models. So those of you who do not know, check it out. You'll learn a lot. You'll start to understand why. And this thing works so well. I love it. So even with the grip, if you look at it, for single-handed, a lot of you guys might be wondering, dude, the handle is wrong. No, actually, this is how it's supposed to be. And I didn't understand that until when I started executing techniques with Kalis Illustrissimo, Essential Kalis Illustrissimo. Because one, in Essential Kalis Illustrissimo and also Kalis Illustrissimo, we're not supposed to break our wrist on our grip. So because of that, this actually works so much better. And the handle, the bottom part of the Naga, or the dragon, this allows me to make sure that it doesn't, if I do anything wrong to break it, it'll start to bite into my forearm. So this is really a good teaching device if you ask me. So there you go. Now, when it comes to two-handed application, I do FFS Dos Manos grip on this. So those of you who do not know, check it out on Ray's online course and you'll start to understand why I use it in this manner versus my classical Japanese art of grabbing it like this, which works too on this well, but this has become my new favorite anytime when I'm using this type of blade. So, oh my god, I love that. There you go. So here's the Kampilan. Next time when you guys drop by the house for training, by all means, let me know that you want to see this and I'll pull it out of my armory. But typically it is locked up and well stored. And today is a nice day, so I'm gonna oil her up. And she can stay there for a little while. Now since I got this out, I had a lot of you guys also ask me the difference between this and I only did 12 minutes, nice. So difference between, what's the difference between a sword and a machete? This is a very good question. So I'm gonna actually show, this is what I use for those models, two-handed application. I'm gonna leave this baby right here a little bit. And I'll bring out another sword that I typically use for single-hand application. Alright. So today's kind of a nice day, so I will share with you guys some of my favorite blades, or at least the blade that I worked on to make it my personal favorite. So this is Jee Innovations Kalis Katipunan. For those of you who do not know Tagalog, Kalis Katipunan simply would, in English, would translate to Sword of the Brotherhood. And actually a very fitting name because majority of the blades, the bolos that was used in the Katipunan Eros during the revolution, actually is very similar to this. If I could just get it out of that bloody cloth. There you go. This is what happens when you actually store for too long. And it's razor sharp, so this is not the thing that I want to play around with. So put this guy in here. This is Jee Innovations Kalis Katipunan. Sheath is, the scabbard is nothing fancy. It was just a GI plastic machete sheath, and that's from the surplus. And I just modded that for this, and it actually fits really well. The blade, if you look at it, so I'm going to show it to you as always before I take it out of this sheath. The blade has Jee Innovations Mod 2 wrap, as you can see, or Mod S wrap, as some of you guys call it. This actually creates that palm swell, so it actually fits the gaps into the hand perfectly for really full 100% grip. Scabbard, nothing fancy, it's just a surplus military OD machete sheath in polymer, and it secures it extremely well. Now, the blade, oh god. Oh, I'm gonna put this maybe out. Let's see. So the blade has the following modification. It has Jee Innovations vinegar and mustard force patina that darkens any carbon steels. The edging, I left it as is because it is ridiculously razor sharp. A little history about this: I acquired this a while back as a gift, and this particular blade is by a gentleman by the name of Lyndall Driggers, and he did a bloody fantastic job on this. Ironically, I do not believe it was intended for, he didn't intend this to build this out of a Filipino blade design, but it just fits it perfectly. In Filipino blades, if you had to find a similar design, this would fit under, if you ask me, I say it's more close to that of the talibon than any other blades actually in this particular line of designs. Not really a dahong palay, but just a little. And for what I typically do, this is what I would say is perfect for it. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's just right. It's thicker than a machete, but it is not super thick to a degree that you can't manipulate it freely. So this is what I would consider as a sword, and I could use this for cutting. I could use this for thrusting. My God. EKI number 6, Baksak to thrust. My favorite with this particular blade. Oh my God. It's stunning, deadly, and beautiful like you wouldn't believe. And also just melts into your hand. Just everything about this particular blade is just perfection. I'm going to wipe this down a little bit and put it back into scabbard. So there you go, guys. That's what I would consider a sword. A machete will be something like this. This is Jee Innovations Tramontina machete with the Mod 2 cord wrap, a curd, the same sheath as the sword, and I absolutely love. This is like my favorite machete to go to. Like just yesterday when I was looking at the backyard, there's some raspberry bushes just kind of coming around, and I'm saying, okay, that's kind of getting too close for comfort every time when I'm practicing, so I decided to do some practice with this. And yai with this is, oh my God, this is so much fun, just drawing and cutting. I'm gonna put this away. There you go. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea and understanding into what kind of blade that I typically work with when I'm teaching and training. Obviously, I had some students ask me, what was the main reason why you got rid of your Noto? So for me, I still have affinity for Japanese swords, and that's always gonna be, especially for someone. Let me just check the time. Like if you look at my background, I've spent more time with a Japanese sword than any other blades that I've used till this day. Because of it, it'll always have that special place in my heart. But main reason why I decided to go to Kampilan was, one, there is no personal growth if you're not venturing out. So if I stayed where I'm comfortable at, sure, with what I have, I could probably do extremely well with Noto just by that on its own. But because I decided to explore out and venture, this allowed me to find what I believe is more effective means of using a blade in two-handed manner than I would have. It was without. The difference is the time. So if you have all the time in the world, and if you're willing to dedicate about 3 decades, cardio is definitely a path. It's a path not taken lightly. You're gonna have to dedicate your entire life to it. But if you only have a short amount of time and you need to be very, very effective with a blade of this particular length and aspect, and to a degree where you could face someone who might have a 30 years of training in Japanese sword and not just fight par to his level, but be able to take him out on his own game, you want to take FFS those models. And with that, with that knowledge and a blade like this, you will see exactly what you'll be able to not just fight on par turn, but also give them something to run for. So there you go, guys. Highly recommend it, especially if you're looking to do something around this current crisis of COVID madness. Don't do nothing. Do something productive with this time. And what I recommend is find something to do. Get your mind off whatever this shitty world's going through, and I guarantee you it will probably be worthwhile than sitting around and doing nothing. God, I love this sword. There you go. One last look. Put it away. I absolutely love the carving, seriously. Alright, thank you for watching. Stay sharp, be safe, and have a great day.